Tennessee WildCast is live on the air.
Live from Nashville, it's time for Outdoors with Doug Markham on Nashville's home for all things outdoors.
Let's go outdoors with Doug Markham today. There's no telling what we'll learn along the way.
Check it out, Doug.
If it's hunting in the backwoods or fishing on the lakes, let's go outdoors with Doug Markham today.
25 years ago.
There's
all right, good morning,
iconic
everyone. Welcome to the show,
theme.
Outdoors with Doug Markham.
All right. Hey, we're outdoors with Doug Markham today.
All right.
Surprise, surprise. Hey, everybody. This is Jason Harmon, Tennessee WildCast. I've got Doug with me here. He's about to leave us and retire, and we want to dedicate this show to him today, and got Mr. Don King helping me co-host with
I
him
appreciate
today.
both of you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you getting that song. It's been a few years since it's been played, and a lot longer since that video was made.
Yeah, if you're listening, we got some pretty cool video for y'all to see, so come check us out on YouTube or TWRA TV and watch the show later if you're not watching, if you're listening. But got some footage of Doug back in the day, some information education work, and probably some more stuff might surprise you with today.
It might surprise me for sure. Well, I appreciate y'all doing that.
Anyway, Doug, thanks for all the work you've done over the past years. How many years has it been now?
31 years, 3 months and 28 days.
Okay.
And about 3.5 hours.
And you got, I don't know, 2 or 3 more days left, right? Or something like that?
I do. My official last day is July 2nd, which also happens to be my dad's 87th birthday.
Oh,
I
all right.
started on my mom's birthday. I'm ending on my dad's birthday.
All right. That's pretty neat the way that lined up.
It is.
That's
It
awesome.
is.
That's awesome. Well, I'm gonna run some pictures just in the background while we're talking. You can thank your wife for these.
Those listening on the radio definitely need to look at the podcast because there's some great stuff here.
So
The
just
first one I
put
got to thank
together.
my mom for, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She gave me those. But anyway, family and friends and the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency family and just wanted to share some of these with folks at home and people watching. But there's you and your mom.
And my mom, and that was Sarah playing ball back in her day. She played for Belmont when they went Division I, and was a lot of fun. Of course, we've been a boxer family and dog family for a long time.
Yeah.
All dogs are great.
That's you and your dad. And
It is. My dad, my stepmother, we recently lost her. She's a great lady. And then, just pictures. Just family pictures. But thank you. They're so cool.
there's some of the TWRA family.
That's right. A couple of those have retired, too.
Yeah.
One of them retired and came back.
You find a couple of directors in that shot.
Yeah, Bobby's a good softball player. We won the championship that year.
That year,
Yeah,
all right.
we
Yeah,
did.
there was trophies in the lobby to prove it.
That's right. So I appreciate y'all. That's my next door neighbors. One's out of college and one's in college, about to get out. So pretty cool, guys. I really appreciate you putting all that stuff together.
Hey, it's our pleasure. I thought it'd be cool to see some. I thought I was told this was your favorite fisherman partner, fishing partner.
Fishing partner. She is. She's good when I can get her out. And then that's Sarah, of course. And that's the old Tennessee Outdoorsman show. We recently lost Jimmy Holt.
I was hoping to find some video of that and show it today. I couldn't find any of you on the show. I found a little bit on YouTube of the stuff.
There's not enough out there like there should be. I think people would still watch that show in large numbers if they could get it out there. I know Scott and Script and I have talked about it. It's hard to get, though.
Yeah.
It would be a terrific show.
And these pictures are going fast, but I noticed you made the USA Today headlines in the news, national news, with the article in Tennessean.
Yeah, of course, Gannett owns them, and so they threw that up on their page on the USA Today. Mike Organ, who's been a great friend of the agency, working for the Tennessean, I wrote a lot of stories about us, and he was nice enough to do a story about me leaving, and that went out on their USA Today page, too.
Mm-hmm.
So I was out there with all those celebrities.
Long-time
Vernon
fishing
Summerlin.
buddy, Vernon Summerlin.
Yeah,
right
Vernon.
there.
Vernon's been a pleasure to meet all the years I was here. Vernon got me into the radio business. So it was Vernon that did that. Really appreciate him for doing it.
Yeah.
And the radio needed a deep voice like mine.
Hey, for what, 15 years you were on the air?
I was on WLAC for about 3.5, and then I was on WTN here in Nashville for 99.7 for about 12 and a half.
Yeah,
So,
because I remember many a 5 a.m. start time coming down and meeting with you at the station and going live, and it was a great show.
got you and your daughter to come down a lot.
Yeah, that's right. Katie
good.
would come, and I think we even sang a song or two through the years.
You
yeah.
did. It's amazing how many folks listen to a show at 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
I can remember not being on at 5, I was on LAC all over the place, Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night, Wednesday night. Got preempted by the UT Vols every other week, and finally went to 5 in the morning and didn't want to. And it's the best thing I ever did.
Yeah.
So you're talking to the sportsman, and that's when
Sportsman's
the serious
drive
folks.
time,
It
as you would
is.
describe.
It
yeah.
is. You don't talk to everybody.
Yeah, right.
But you talk to the sportsman.
Yep, that's right.
It was a lot of fun for a long time.
Hey, some of that video, I just got to tell this quick story. Some of that video was at Williamsport Lakes. You know, when we launched cut the ribbon out there with the director and all the dignitaries and everything. And
97 or 98. Yep.
Yeah. And that was one of my first times to go out and shoot video, I think, for the agency. Well, anyway, you and I went back for a fact-finding tour. I think we had thrown the polls in, too, just to, make sure we had our facts straight.
Yeah.
We were out there. So taking a break at lunch, we go to this little mom-and-pop market on Highway 50, just right down the street from Williamsport. We walk in, and there was a lady behind the counter making sandwiches. And she looked up, and she saw me, and she saw Doug. She took a second take at Doug. She said, "You're Doug Markham, aren't you?" I thought I was with Elvis. Man, we got the thickest bologna sandwich that day, and she just went on about knowing you and listening to you and seeing you on TV and stuff.
A lot of it.
It was cool.
I appreciate that. A lot of it was a Tennessee outdoorsman back in that day.
Right.
It went all over the place. And the wild side, Barry Cross, and we spent a lot of time together doing wild side stuff.
Yeah, and that was even pre-Wild Side.
Was it pre-wild side? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that was Outdoorsman and your radio show. So.
Yeah.
I think the footage was black and white, wasn't it?
Y'all must have colorized it. Y'all had to.
No, we pulled some. Thanks to Todd, we pulled some wild side footage of you hosting some of your segments and stuff, and it's cool to go back and watch. And
Working
see some
in
of that.
working in the wild.
Working
Yeah.
in the wild, yeah.
Barry shot 3/4 of those. Ken Tucker shot about 1/4 of them. Barry shot most of them and helped me struggle through them in narrative. And got any of my footage on there that I shot that's kind of fuzzy and
No, I stay away
audio
from
messed
that.
up.
I put that in the trash can. So I wanted to throw this out there. What's one of the proudest moments, things that stands out for you as working with the agency?
Oh, well, it goes back really to the folks that I worked with, watching them when I first came on here. It was so cool watching all these officers and technicians and biologists restore wild turkeys, and Bob Hatcher, who's left us now, he's gone. He was working on the bald eagle restoration programs, and it was still a very busy time in restoration. We still worry all the time about wildlife, but back then the deer had just ended. The deer restoration had probably been ended a couple 3 years when I got here in '87. And but the work on turkey and bald eagles and river otters and on was really hot and heavy, and that probably will always be my favorite time here. Was watching them and taking photographs and helping sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And tried not to get in the way too much because they really knew what they were doing.
Well, you were helping by getting the word out.
Yeah,
I got the word
documenting
out,
with
yeah.
your book, Doug, the boxes, rockets, and pens.
Right.
Documenting a lot of the activities that went on during that time.
Yeah, we did do that.
Yeah.
And, but that's probably that'll go with me as the best thing that I was ever a part of. And it was a long time ago, and there's been a whole lot since then. And I just wish folks could understand, the ones that don't, how good and how hard everybody works here. We're a government agency, and so we have to be bureaucratic to some degree
Right.
because we're required to be.
Sure.
But most of the folks that work here, 99 point whatever, they love wildlife, they love the outdoors, and they're doing everything they can to make everything as good as possible.
Right.
And still some folks get mad at them, but I think most people don't.
Uh-huh.
But if they knew what we knew, if they had the hearts that we have, they'd know that everybody here is working so hard to be so good to make things better.
Exactly.
And that's what I've seen for 31 years, 3 months, 28 days, and 3 hours.
He's counting down, I think. Well, let's see. What else we want to talk about? I didn't really have a big agenda today. I just wanted to just get you talking and start talking. But so you've been on radio, you've been on TV, Wildside, Tennessee Outdoorsman. Did you ever think you would be a radio TV personality?
No, I didn't. The first radio show, well, TV or radio, but the first radio show I did down in Pulaski was the only radio show I ever did because the guy never asked me again. He had me do a news story, and I read it, and I didn't know what I was doing at all. And I thought, well, that was over. And plus, you have this voice. So no, the radio thing was was something that came along just because a friend asked me to be on, and I got comfortable with him and got comfortable with it, and it would. My whole point was finding good guests. The show was never about me. It was about my guests who were really terrific. I'm good at asking questions.
Yeah.
And so that's what my show was about. And the TV thing was Jimmy Hope and Glenn Smith just asking me to come on at one point. But I'm not the only one that was ever on the Outdoorsman. It goes back. Ed Carter, our director now, was on the Outdoorsman a lot years ago. And Sharon Coe, who we lost a few years ago, she was on there. She hosted the show a bunch.
Okay.
So I was just in the lives, probably on there more consistently, but those two were on there a lot way back. And if you don't know what the Tennessee Outdoorsman was, I wish we had it for everyone to watch all the time, because it went on for 30 years with Jimmy Hope and Glenn Smith, and before that, 2 or 3 other famous guys. I mean, went on to be famous guys. And it was a great show. So all of that, being on those shows has been a very important part here. Being on the wild side was an important part of being in this agency.
Speaking of the TV show Outdoorsman, I know you and Jimmy you developed a really close relationship over the years. Just tell us a little bit about how that started and how it developed.
I think I just went on there, Don. I think there was a show or two that he contacted the agency and needed a guest, and I went on there, and we just all kind of hit it off. And I'd go in there some shows, maybe get one of our guys to go in, a wildlife officer or a biologist, and set them up. That was my job, was to try to bring press attention to the agency. So I might set up a Greg Wathen to talk about deer. Or, there's many times Chuck Bourne went on there a time or two to talk about wildlife laws, and I would just start shooting cameras. I'd get on one of the cameras for them, kind of like we do at a commission meeting. Just stand there, and when they say camera 3, I'd be there and just shoot it. And eventually I started sitting in with them more often. And them more often, and then it just turned in, hey, why don't you just down there all the time?
I didn't realize you even ran camera on the thing.
I did.
Wow,
that's
crazy.
I did. I just sit one camera. Of course, there wasn't much to it. Just kind of point the camera. But that happened a lot. And then I think it was more Glenn than anybody said, hey, just sit down here. And so I started sitting down, and that lasted about 10 years.
All right.
So that's how I went on there. And I went way back. Director Carter and I, when he was pre his boating time, did a show on this Nashville government station, and Ed was the host.
Okay.
And I think we called it Working in the Wild. And Ed hosted. That went on for a couple of years with Ed as a host.
Oh,
and
neat.
we'd find guests. So it's been going on for a long time.
Let's see if we can find some footage of that sometime.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that. That was probably when Ed had only been here like 20 years.
Yeah, right. The newcomer. Yeah.
Newcomer with 46 years in now. So anyway, it's been a lot of fun, and all this stuff you've gotten to see, these hatcheries that you go to. And one of my first memories of a hatchery was my first week or two here. I went down to Normandy Hatchery, and it was in April, and it snowed.
Oh,
that was a great memory.
Yeah.
It snowed the day it snowed while I was going down there, and by the time I left at 12 o'clock, the snow was all gone. But it was beautiful going to this Normandy Hatchery with trout, and a guy that loved to fish trout, and all this snow was everywhere. It was so cool.
That's great. That's great.
It's pretty amazing where this job will take you and the things you get to experience and see and do. And
yeah, I got to see bears get restored over in the Big South Fork. River otters get restored all over Tennessee. Went down to Louisiana and met the guy that trapped them, Leroy Savine, and he would trap them, and we'd go buy them. Now, I know not everybody loves otters. I'm one of them that does. But we would bring otters back up to Middle and East Tennessee. They were already in West Tennessee, and we'd caravan back up from Louisiana, way down from Houma. And he's gone now too, and but he's the only man in the country that could trap them and keep them alive and bring them back up here, and I got to be a part of that. Again, more as a spectator. I helped some. I drove a little bit and did this a little bit and that a little bit, but we had some real good leaders that took us down there. So all of that was fun. As fun a time as I ever had at the agency.
yeah, well, you're a big fisherman. You love to fish, and this job helps you with that too.
Some people think that's all I did. You know that, right?
But you've taken me fishing, so I
It's not really all I do, is it? That's what I always say. If I fished as much as people thought I did, I'd be good at it.
well, looky who's here.
Holy smokes! Hey, it must be something big about to happen.
I was just talking about here.
The director's here. I'm going to give up my spot here. Hang on. We'll get him microphoned up here.
Well, thanks for dropping in, Ed.
Yeah, there you go.
And your name?
I was about to say the same.
Surprise, surprise.
I was just talking about you hosting a show a long time ago.
Oh man, there's lots of water under the bridges, but it's all been good.
It has been. It has been, Director Carter, and I appreciate everything. Director Carter was on the committee that hired me a long time ago. See what you did.
Yeah, back in Region 2, that's for sure. But, you know, I guess you were well known then, but your boy's certainly well known now. I'll tell you a quick story. I was in Walmart for whatever reason, walking. This guy stopped me. Hey, I know you. I said, really? He said, yeah, you're Doug Markham.
I could see that.
Anyway, I disavowed any knowledge at that point. No, Doug, man, this is going to be really strange without you around. You're so well known in most of the media circles. I don't care if it's print, or if it's television, or if it's radio. You've kind of been on all of those. You've been the voice of the agency many, many times and helped us put out a lot of information to people that wouldn't have gotten it any other way. And I don't know how you got up that early to do all those radio shows on Saturday mornings, but, you know, anyway, there were a lot of people that were there. I don't know if they were in transit somewhere or they got up just to listen to you, but I've gotten lots of feedback that those were really good times.
Well, I appreciate it, Director, and everything that you've done to support everything that we do in information, communications, and you've always been an information and education person, always. From the day I met you, in fact, you're the person that I remember first telling us that we worked for the Sportsman, and I've always kept that in mind and heart that that's who we work for, and so we try to do what we can for the Sportsman Tennessee, and it's been important since day one.
Well, it has, and I thought I had an idea how things ought to flow. You might remember this when you wrote your first news release and gave it to me. I took it and I went it back and said, "Could you write like this?" And you said, "Well, I could, but I wouldn't want to." So I've always deferred to you from there on out, Doug. So it's been good.
I appreciate it very much. You have a great crew here. That's the strong crew that you'll be working with for however much longer you stay.
You know, so many people ask me that. I'm beginning to think it's more of a suggestion than a question. but anyway, I don't know. But I've told everybody that ever asked, I would start over again tomorrow if I could.
Yeah.
It's been great.
This is, I feel like this is the luckiest thing that could have happened to me. That's the truth. And I'm just been so honored and happy to work at this agency.
Well, I guess we first met, obviously, in Region 2 when we first hired you, but certainly became family friends. Our families have been friends for years, and, you know, so I hope we still stay in touch that way, and it won't be quite as much going cold turkey here, to use a wildlife phrase.
I'm sure my wife, Diane, will make sure we stay in touch. She worked with you for a long time and loves you, and I'm sure we're going to be in touch often. And, you know, I live 1 mile away from TWRA. If I can help in any way, I'll help in any way I can.
Yeah, you're coming back on the show pretty soon.
I'll come
next week. No.
Maybe I'll catch a fish by then.
That was a short retirement.
We do live close, and so we're willing to help any way we can. And living close has also been a great thing.
It has both ways. I live kind of close too, and hey, since you live so close, can you run back over there and turn the lights off and that kind of thing? So it works both ways. But gosh, what a legacy you've left, Doug. And I know it's not over by any shot, but anyway, from all of us, from the commission, and for all those people that you know so well and who know you that you've probably never met, we appreciate all you've done.
Well, thank you, Director. I really appreciate it and everything you've done. It just is important to me, and there's a lot of folks here that's been important. Some of them aren't with us anymore that are important to this place and important to what things happened in my career. And I'll take them with me also as I leave this place.
So thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ed.
It's
I
been
appreciate
great.
it, Director.
I don't know how much time we've got left before I have to leave here, but
Well, we got some
until you
time,
kick
so
me off,
we can keep talking, or we can bring Don back, or whatever.
Yeah, I'll let Don come back. I know he's got words he wants to put in too. But anyway, Doug, it's not like I won't see you again. At least I hope that's not the case.
You may see me in a few minutes because I have to do an exit interview, and you might have to do it.
Make sure I get all your keys to the building. Thanks again.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
I couldn't pass up that. And the director wanted to say a few words, and he
I appreciate it.
thought it'd be cool to let him drop in. That wasn't planned, though. Never mind.
Live programming. We love live programming.
Yeah.
It's always fun.
Yeah, and I hope, this live programming keeps going. Who knows where social media is going to go and this broadcast, and I think y'all will continue to do great stuff with it, Don.
Yeah,
It's gonna
between
get
the
bigger
two,
and bigger.
you and Jason, this was kind of your brainchild. Maybe the impetus kind of started with the radio show, the years of experience you had doing that, and then, and prior to you getting involved more directly with Jason. He kind of had this thing in mind, and so when you guys put the real plans together for it, it's really developed into something that's really good. It's been well received.
Well,
by
Jason
folks
makes it
out
go.
there.
I set it to Mike and turn up that knob every now and then, but the rest of it's all Jason. And of course, you wrote the music for it, Don, and you
appreciate
wrote
that,
some
Doug.
other music for me. Yes.
Yeah.
Through years, I really appreciate it, Don.
Well,
One of the
occasionally
two
I'd
shows.
wake up on a Saturday morning, my alarm would go off, and I thought, is that my song playing? Sure enough, it's Doug's show, and he's using it as bumper music.
I
so,
did that a lot.
Yeah,
I do that a
I
lot.
appreciate that, and I'm so much like you that what motivated me to come to work for this outfit was the dedication of the folks. The professionalism, the things that they don't come on board to get rich. They come on board because they believe in what they're doing. And they
Without
do
a
it
doubt.
with all their heart.
There's
And,
3 or 4 schools in Tennessee. They're outstanding, and we get most of our officers from there who become most of our biologists, who become eventually often our directors.
That's right.
So that's kind of how it works, and it is a big family here, and even across the state. Even if you don't see somebody all the time, the folks in East or West or Tennessee or the Plateau, you're still fond of them when you do see them and talk to them. They're doing just as good a work over there as what you see out of the Nashville office,
That's
the
right.
Region 2 office, which is right down the hill.
That's right.
So it's just a great place. People in Tennessee need to know how lucky they are, and even the ones that stay mad at us need to know how lucky they are. Don't be mad at us. They're really working hard for you.
Oh yeah.
Well, Doug, I want to say a few things. I appreciate all you've done for me and your mentorship. And even when I first came on, you hired me on the side to help you with your website, with your shows and stuff like that. And appreciate all the guidance and support you've given me over the years.
You've done a great job, Jason.
It's been fun working with you.
Same here. I knew you'd do a good job. And when we put this little communications division together for a while, I asked for your help and got it. And it was a great choice, and you've done a wonderful job.
We've done a lot these last 3 years.
We have.
You guys have. You really have.
And Don, you've helped us a lot. So
Yeah.
it's all worked.
Team effort.
We all work well together, and y'all are going to keep on doing great. And I'm thinking how long ago some of those videos have been. So long ago, I think I caught a fish.
Well, this is some of the newer stuff. You
Oh,
were
yeah?
catching fish at this point.
Keep showing it then.
But yeah, Barry probably shot a lot of this. This is you and Joey Monteleone out fishing on Wildside.
Did you shoot that one? Yeah, Williamsport. Man, I put it to Joey that day. Don't tell him I said that. Who's Joey Monteleone? He's a good guy, too.
Just a reminder, you do need to look at the video version of this. If you're listening on the radio this morning, you gotta tune this thing in. It's worth watching.
Yeah.
It is, and you got to meet some people like Joey along the way. One of the last things that I'm doing here was working on a project with Bill Dance the other day.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, Bill, he is a terrific guy.
Yeah.
You call Bill Dance and ask him to help you here in Tennessee, and the man will do what he can. And his secretary helps him, Leslie. He's just an awesome guy.
He really is.
You guys, I'm leaving y'all, but you're all going to be fighting Asian carp for a long time, and you call Bill and say, Bill, we need your famous voice to help us with the Asian carp project, and buddy, he's right on top of it. So that part of it's been fun. All the folks that you've met through the years, and all the folks you'd see every single year at every outdoor show, every boat show, and every fish show, and every hunting show. You'd see the same people, and it was like a reunion every year. These folks you hadn't seen for 1 year, and they all come see you at your booth, and I'll miss all that about the agency too. Not setting up the shows, but the people. Barry's going to be setting up the shows now.
You can just show up.
Call me, Barry. I'll come help you. No, I won't.
Show up and shake hands now, can't you?
I can.
Yeah.
I can be that guy that shows up annually and talks to you. So
Yeah, we'll have to have you back and maybe do some weekly fishing reports or monthly fishing reports or something like that. And have you back and
I'm a mile away. I hope Barry or you or whatever will go out and still do some pieces out there.
shoot ya.
I owe him a catfish piece and a trolling piece too. And
All right.
So,
Well, I didn't get an invite to those. What's up with that?
We'll get y'all out there.
But anyway, well, I guess we're wrapping it up. Anything you want to say to close out that you'd like to add? Anything?
I thank all the people here at TWRA for their friendliness. They have been terrific. Everybody here has been for a long time, and I've always said on radio, on TV here, that this agency wouldn't function without the sportsmen of Tennessee. They pay for us. They're everything to us. When we need things to be won, things done, things looking bad, and you can rely on the sportsmen of Tennessee. And they will help you. Even sometimes when it seems mad, they will come around and help you because I think they understand how important this agency is. But we work for them, and I hope we always do. But they've been important to everything we've ever done. I guess I need to thank my wife, Diane, and my stepdaughter, Sarah, who put up with me a long time.
You better do that.
Put up with me.
You'll be in trouble.
A lot of times, do a lot of silliness. So anyway, and I appreciate all of y'all very much.
Thank you, Doug.
Thanks, Doug.
Been awesome.
Well, here's your going out theme music here. But anyway, thanks, Doug, for all you've done. Thanks for everything, and we appreciate your dedication to the agency over the past 31 and so many days and so many hours.
About 3.5 now. Thanks, guys.
All right.
I appreciate all of y'all.
Well, and thanks for watching on Facebook. If you're out there, we appreciate that. I know there was a glitch and I had to restart it, but that's how it goes. We'll figure all that out. We're going to clean this up. But thanks for watching on Facebook. Thanks for stepping in, Don. And,
You bet.
And thanks, Ed, for being with us. And keep watching. We'll be here next week.
All right.
I'll be watching.
All righty.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in. Stay connected with TWRA by visiting our website at tnwildlife.org and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hey, it's all about Tennessee wildlife. It's what we do. Tennessee WildCast will be on the air again next week. We'll see you then.